JP Morgan essentially got taken over by the bond side of the business.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Raoul Pal and Tom Lee explore Bitcoin's network value, unveiling insights on market dynamics and digital innovation. Join us to watch their breakdown and learn more about these compelling topics.
These guys were amazing. I wished I understood what they were saying in '07 because Eric Beinstein and Pete Occhivetti and Chris Flanagan were all panicked and freaking out in '07. And so you obviously caught it right. Like, I didn't really know how to interpret what they were saying. But of course, a huge disaster unfolded. But what was interesting is that in '09, the firm was really controlled by the bond side of the business, which had a very structurally negative view about the prospects for a recovery, which of course was good for the bond side of the business anyways. And so I think that the stock market got taken over by the bond market, basically, or macro, and that made people structurally bearish for much of that recovery because the equity investor got wiped out.
That very episode, and then because most of us have been around for 2001, then missed all of the tech boom that then happened.
Yeah.
Because they kind of couldn't believe it could happen, and it did. And then Amazon was trading at a P of 800, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this? And everybody missed it because everyone's so macro-focused and just didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So, it probably helped that I had a technology background.
Yeah,
and
it did.
Yeah, and I understood the importance of sentiment and how people, when in the equity world, when someone gets tired of an idea, even if they're the smartest person, they'll reach a point that just says, get me out at any price. They don't even care. And they'll never revisit the idea. And but that's when opportunities created, So, and then around 2014, I was, things were going very well at JP Morgan, and we were in a good bull market, but I was starting to realize that if I stayed at JP Morgan, which is a great place, that was going to be my last job ever, because I was approaching, 15 years there. And as much as I think a lot of people would love the idea, I had always followed entrepreneurs and tech people, so I thought I need to think about starting my own company.
Bitcoin recently dropped by roughly 2%, catching many off guard as falling inflation numbers would normally boost market sentiment. However, this time, the easing inflation has instead fueled concerns about the ongoing U.S. trade war. At the March 13 Wall Street Open, Bitcoin failed to hold its gains, reflecting a cautious market environment. Economic reports reveal that both the Producer Price Index and Consumer Price Index registered lower than expected increases. Yet, risk asset traders interpreted these figures as a sign that trade tensions might continue unabated. With Bitcoin trading near $81,500, investors remain uncertain about the next move. The unexpected market reaction highlights how good news on inflation can sometimes translate into negative signals for riskier assets. The current scenario encourages a deeper look into how economic data and geopolitical factors are reshaping trader appetites and contributing to persistent volatility in the digital currency market.
You've seen the explosion of mobiles. You've now seen mobile flip over. What's next for you?
That was a very successful period for us covering the wireless industry because it really blossomed from the 90s all the way to the mid-2000s. But by 2007...
Before we do that, we've got the overbuild that happened in the fiber business in 99, 2000. Let's talk a bit about that, because that was obviously a fascinating period that we may or may not be repeating some of the AI stuff right now as well.
Yeah, that was a magical time. You're right. And in fact, it wasn't really looking back, it started in 96 and it lasted all the way through 2000. So there were 48 months or 4 years where anything related to the growth of internet and mobile, and on top of that, of course, there was the emerging market story, because they were building communications networks globally, meant everything was going to the moon. I remember that period, but it was really an extended period where if you found a stock, and it could be a random name, but it was doing something interesting, it could go up 5 times or 10 times in a few months. And I remember that at the time I was at Smith Barney, our salespeople were getting so accustomed to like stocks having 300% upside that if you had a buy recommendation on a stock that only had 20% upside, they'd be like, "Come on, Tom, what kind of stock is this? I can make 20% in a week." And I remembered Smith Barney, we'd have this equity capital markets meeting and trading meeting weekly, and we would really talk about market behavior. And Smith Barney was unique because they had a very big retail operation on top of institutional. But every time there was a market drawdown, we would hear from the ECM desk and the trading desks how much retail came in and bought that dip. So it was a market where investors were buying the market steadily, and it, of course, did ascend eventually parabolically. And people were using margin debt very aggressively. I remembered many stories from Smith Barney about people who, instead of getting mortgages, were just taking margin loans to buy a house. And of course, the stock that they owned would go up, so then the house was free. So that did create a really reinforced period that I think resulted in a bubble. And as much as people kind of harken back and say they've seen it again, in the equity world, it has not been as pervasive, and it's been much shorter. And many people have been too quick to call the top. One of the things that happened in that late 90s period, and you know this, is that it destroyed value investors. Like that was Foster Friess and some other big macro hedge funds.
Tiger, Julian.
Yeah.
Close shop.
Yeah, so I don't want to mention Tiger, but yes, like they famously really got steamrolled because that style of investing value was really getting crushed by momentum and the reallocation. It was really boomer capital into the stock market. And then, of course, it ran out of steam.
Representatives of President Trump's family have reportedly engaged in discussions with Binance about acquiring a stake in the crypto exchange. According to sources, Binance reached out in 2024 as part of a strategy to resume Binance with operations within the United States. The proposal comes amid ongoing efforts by Binance's billionaire founder, Changpeng Zhao, who has been seeking a pardon from the Trump administration following previous legal issues. It remains uncertain whether the deal would involve the Trump family directly or be conducted through World Liberty Financial, a Trump-backed crypto venture launched in September 2024. Trump has increasingly positioned himself as a prominent figure in the cryptocurrency world, launching his official Trump memecoin just days before his return to the White House. His wife Melania and son Eric have also embraced the digital asset space, actively promoting crypto adoption. This potential deal with Binance could reshape the company's strategy in the American market if it comes together. The report has sparked controversy, with Trump taking to Truth Social to criticize the Wall Street Journal for its reporting. Meanwhile, industry voices remain divided. Binance CEO Richard Teng has praised Trump as a catalyst for a global pro-crypto shift, instilling optimism among investors despite concerns over regulatory and political challenges. The unfolding talks signal an intriguing intersection of politics and digital finance that could have far-reaching implications for the crypto industry. As discussions continue, market watchers eagerly await further developments, hopeful that this groundbreaking alliance may redefine the future of digital finance significantly. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.